Hello and welcome to Healing Waters broadcast. This is your girl, Marie Kennedy Groves, here to share your lunch hour with you on Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you are having a wonderful Monday. I hope that you are enjoying your day and that you have made a choice, no matter what it is that's going on in your life. Because if you're like me, you got some cray-cray going on at all different times, whether you want to admit it or not. But you make a choice every day to absolutely live out that day to the best ability that you possibly can. So we have a fun topic to talk about today. As if you've watched my broadcast before, you have heard me tell a little bit of my story, and I will just share really briefly. I have been divorced twice. I was a single mom raising kids through the teenage years, which is not for the faint at heart. And I am here to tell you that if you are a single mom and you are raising kids, it is possible and you will survive. Because guess what? My kids are now 21 and 22, and I'm still here. So I hope today that I give hope, I give encouragement, I'm able to breathe new life into those of you that are single moms that are literally wondering if you're going to be able to make it. Because I was there and I was you. So now that I'm on this side of my single parenting, now I kind of consider myself as a cheerleader and a coach to my kids, because you know what? They're grown, they're making their own decisions. And you know what? I don't feel I have given myself permission to allow them to do their thing, be their own people. Do they always make the decisions that I agree with? No, they do not. But you know what? They are adults and they will figure it out. So as their mother, I am here. If they want to come and talk to me, which they do, Mom, this and this and this happened. What do you think about that? We will talk. I will share with them my thoughts on it, but I will not tell them what to do. That is your choice on how you want to handle this. I will share my thoughts with you, but it is your life. So you are going to reap the consequences, good or bad. So choose wisely. And I am here to cheer you on. So that is a little bit of my backdrop story. But one of the things that I am so passionate about is reaching back and helping all of the single moms that are still in the throes of trying to raise these kids and trying to be mom and dad and work full time. And I mean, it is so much. When I tell you, I feel you, I know it is so much. And it is so heavy to be everything and trying to balance all these balls in the air, picking up kids, getting them to practices, getting them to gymnastics, all the stuff. All of the stuff. Many days, it's just too much. And you literally wonder when you fall into that bed at night, how in the world am I going to do this? So if I'm language, I have some tips for you today on how to raise emotionally healthy kids through divorce. And to be quite honest with you, a lot of these tips that I'm going to share with you today have actually been conversations that now that my adult children, that we've lived out those years, that they've come back to me and told me the things that really impacted them as me being a single mom and raising them. So I'm going to share some of those things with you because I wish so much that I had a single mom that had gone before and had lived it out, that could have reached back and helped me. So I hope that I can be the person I wish I had to you today. So the burning questions as a single mom that went through my mind and that I struggled with were, how can I be there for my kids? Like, I know it's hard for them. I know that they feel stable. They're trying to find their ground. They're trying to figure out, okay, where do I belong? If you and the ex are fighting and there's disarray there, and you or them are talking to the kids about it, okay, am I on mom's side? Am I on dad's side? It's just too much for these little human beings that they just want to be loved and have a great life. Another burning question that was always on my mind was, how do I navigate this new space that I'm in? And how do I do this healthily? How do I heal and get healthy? I mean, like, where do I even begin in the midst of all of this, with all the chaos and the confusion and trying to be there for your kids? And then, I mean, just simply, how do I hold it all together? Like, how do I hold it all together and not absolutely end up in the funny farm? So we're going to talk about that today. So the first thing I would tell you to do as a single mom, if this is a new space for you, hear me, please hear me. If you've been in this space for a while and any of those things that I mentioned are some of the same thoughts that twirl around in your head, please, please, please hear me. Own your position. Own the space you're in. And when I tell you that, I'm going to tell you, stop looking at social media. Stop comparing yourself to other women. Stop looking and going, oh my gosh, yeah, I could do that too if I had a husband that supported me. Or, oh my gosh, if I only had that, yeah, of course I could have those, I could do that. And stop, just stop. Stop. Own your position. You are now in this space. You are a single mom. You're raising your kids, and determine that you are going to do the very best job that you can do in the space that you're in. You're not, and be aware, you're not going to be perfect. Nobody is perfect at this, ever. We learn by trial and error. Be the adult in the situation. Be the parent that you would have wanted if you had been in the same situation. Maybe you were in the same situation with your parents. Think about all the things that you wished your parent or parents had done for you, and determine that you're going to be that parent to your kids. So then determine that you're going to do your own healing work. Because truly, if you can do your healing work, that in itself is going to be such amazing healing for the kids. And you're going to show them, you're going to walk it out, what that looks like. So when I say do your own healing work, connect with counselors, a therapist, I don't care, a life coach, somebody that maybe that you admire, that has walked this journey before you and their kids turned out really great, or maybe they really struggled, yet they seem to have navigated those waters. Do not do this alone. I beg you, do not do this alone. What I can tell you from my experience is when you're in this space, it is very easy to just want to hide under a rock and just wait for this to be over so that then you can do your thing, because there's embarrassment. And if your spouse or your ex-spouse is talking junk about you and all, I mean, there's just so much. Do not hide. Find you a circle, a healthy circle of friends, of people that can speak into your life. Own your space that you are in right now and determine you're going to rock this out. Focus on your children. Can I tell you, if I could give you probably the best advice I could give you, is if this is a new space for you and you, or maybe you've been in this space for a while, but you have not done your healing work, like you have not done your healing work. And you say, well, what does that look like, Marie? It looks different for different people, but I would definitely say that you need some type of a professional to help walk you through what you need to do to heal. So if this is a new space for you, or if you've been in this space for a while, but you've not done your healing work, can I please beg of you to stop dating, stop looking for Mr. Right, because all you are going to attract in this space, if you have not healed, is somebody that's broken and lonely, just like you. And if you do not heal, you are going to attract the exact same thing to you again. So it's so important that you just shut down on that piece of your life for a moment. It's not forever. Gals, it is not forever. But relationships take a lot of work. And right now, raising emotionally healthy kids, you need to have your focus on the kids to make sure that they are handling all of the crazy as well as possible. Create your future story of thriving. But the only way that you create your future story of how you thrived in this space is if you own your now. Own where you're at. Do not run from where you're at. It's okay. Relationships don't work out. It is what it is. You are here. Own it and rock it. So ask yourself, what do I need to do today to step toward my desired end result? Ask that question every single day. What do I need to do today to step towards my desired end result? That will give you a lot of clarity, and it will give you priorities of what you need to focus on for today. We're going to talk about this in a lot more when we come back after the commercial break. But I am so glad you have joined me today, because I have such a heart for single moms, because I have been there. I've walked this journey. I know all the questions that burn in your mind and all the insecurities that rise up. But let me tell you, while we are on this commercial break, take a moment to click on WYTV7, either on YouTube or on Facebook, whichever you're watching on. Hit that little donate button. Any amount of money is absolutely appreciated because it helps broadcasts such as this reach women all over the world to bring hope, encouragement, and to help hold them steady in difficult times. We will be right back.
80% of women will develop a pelvic health condition at some point in their lives. There is relief. There is hope. The Pelvic Floor Store, your resource for personal health.
And welcome back to the Healing Waters broadcast. You got your girl, Marie Kennedy Groves, with you today, giving you a little life coaching on raising emotionally healthy kids through divorce. One of my passions is single moms. And I was a single mom through the very difficult teenage years. And that's part of where my passion for coaching came from, is I just wanted to be able to reach back and help other people through the things that I worked through. So that's what I'm here today, is to say, I'm here, lock arms with me. We can walk this journey together. And it is possible to raise emotionally healthy kids through divorce. It is possible. Okay. So right before the commercial break, we were talking about asking the question every day, what do I need to do today to step towards my desired end result? Okay. Listen to your children. Stop always telling them what to do. And listen to what they are saying. Many, many times, they are telling you exactly what they need. But we just won't shut up long enough to hear them because we are so convinced that we are right on everything, and that they need to listen to us and they need to do this and rah, rah, rah. Just stop and listen. Watch their body language. Listening and watching their body language tells you so much. I will also tell you, teens will close off in a heartbeat. Shut the door to their room, be in there for hours. What I can tell you is if you will create a comfortable space for them to talk as they feel safe, don't force it. Don't force it. But create a comfortable space where they are able to talk should they feel like it. I promise you they will. One of the things that I have zero regrets on, I did not allow my kids to get driver's licenses until they were able to get a job and pay for their insurance on the car. What it created was me having to drive them to their games, to their, all their events, to friends' houses, picking them up. They weren't big fans of my decision to not allow them to get their permits until they had jobs to pay their insurance. But honestly, I didn't care because that was just a rule that I thought taught them responsibility and that money didn't grow on trees. And I thought that they would be more careful with driving. And plus, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think kids at 16 are mature enough to drive a car. Um, that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, so my kids were 18 before they got their driver's licenses. Can I tell you, from 15 to say 18, when they got their license, the amount of time that we spent in the car in, picking them up in between games or friends or whatever, we had amazing conversation and so many life talks that we would have never had if they had their driver's license and they were driving themselves. So the car for our family became a safe place. It was a safe place to share about our day, to share the struggles that they were having. The other thing that I did, and I am not saying that the way I did it is for everybody by any stretch of the imagination, because you've got to figure out what works for you and your kids. But I made a decision about 10, 11 years ago that I was not going to have cable TV anymore. Now, we had a TV in our home, but we didn't have cable. I did have like Hulu and Netflix were the two things at the time. And so I'm not saying we would never watch TV, because there would be times that we would watch TV, a show here and there, but I determined that we would not have the TV blaring all the time in our house. For us, that created another safe place where if they wanted to come into the kitchen when I was cooking, maybe I had music playing. I did play a lot of music in our house. They would come into the kitchen. Sometimes they, sit up on the counter and all of a sudden start talking. And I would just listen. And many, many times there would, as they were telling me stuff, I was in my head, I was like, oh my God. I mean, I wanted to claw their eyeballs out. But I knew that if I hit them, like, what? They would shut down, and that would be the end. And they would not feel like they could come back and talk to me again. Now, I'm not going to say that I never came at them in that manner, because I did. But then I would try to catch myself, because I would see them shut down, and I would try to catch myself, and then I would try to say, listen, I'm sorry. I didn't handle that right. If you want to share the rest of the story with me, I'm here to listen. But then I had to be okay that sometimes they were not, they were out of the mood of sharing. And I had to be okay with, okay, well, when they're ready to talk again, Marie, you need to keep yourself in check. If you want them to be able to talk to you, keep yourself in check. So that talks about don't react, only respond. If you get on their level with their emotions, because their emotions are not developed fully, it is going to be chaos and confusion 24/7. Allow them to be a part of the decisions that you're making whenever possible. This gives them a sense of power. It also gives them a sense of value, that you value them. They feel like their voice matters. They won't feel nearly as alone, and they'll feel much more secure in their new life quicker. So that was one thing that I was very intentional on. Every chance I got, even if I was on this really tight budget and the many weeks, I had $75 to my name to buy groceries for the week. I made it a game. We couponed together. My kids and I couponed together. I would take them into the grocery store with me, and I would hand them a stack of coupons, and they would have their own cart. Go find these things, and then we would make a game out of it when we went to the checkout of how much money were we going to save, and we would all like cast our vote and see, which one was the closest. I just made a game as much as I possibly could and involved them in the space we were in. And it also taught them a whole lot about saving money that they still utilize today. Because when they want something, watch them Google where the best price is at. So, intentionally lighten the mood as many times a day as you can. Because like I said, kids going through divorce, that's heavy. That is heavy. Create a happy environment. Like I said, I refuse to have the TV blaring. I would have music playing. Excuse me. I don't know where that sneeze came from. But I would have upbeat music playing. I would be singing. They would come in the kitchen and start singing, or wherever I was at. And then I was very intentional about creating fun experiences. Now, I didn't have a lot of money, so I could do a whole broadcast, and maybe I will, on how to create fun experiences on a budget. Girl, let me tell you what, I became the queen at how to have fun without spending any money. We went to parks. I mean, there's just a whole list of things I could tell you that we did. Teach them how to not take life or themselves too serious. So that's going to require you to not take yourself or life too seriously. And it's going to require you to be able to laugh at yourself and go, oh my gosh, you are not going to believe what I did today. Get them to laugh with you, because I promise you, it's teaching them how to not take themselves too seriously. My kids and I became extremely sarcastic during these single mom years, because that's the way we coped and dealt with a lot of things, is through a lot of sarcasm. But it would make us laugh, and we laughed our way through a lot of things because of sarcasm. Self-care. Can I just tell you right now, part of owning your position as a parent is to make sure you're properly caring for you. What feeds your soul? Because so many people say, Marie, I don't even know where to start to do self-care. And I will ask them these questions, like, what feeds your soul? Like, what excites you? Maybe you like to paint. Maybe you, I don't know, maybe you like doing DIY projects. What is it that feeds your soul? Maybe a good book. What alters your mood? Be very cognizant of what alters your mood. So if you're feeling down and you're feeling insecure, or you're feeling whatever that mood is that you're feeling, and you need to alter that, know what it is that alters your mood. For me, it's music, or listening to something motivational. I can turn on, I have a chick list playlist that I probably need to share with y'all sometime. That whenever I need to break out of a mood that I'm in, I'll hit that chick playlist and I'll start rocking out that playlist. but whatever that is for you, or I'll listen to something motivational. Intentionally set the tone for your day before your kids wake up. Because as soon as they wake up, if you haven't already set the tone for your day, they're going to set it for you, and it's probably going to be in a negative way. Protect your mind at all cost. Limit social media time because it just breeds comparison. It's just, you got to own the space that you're in. And I'm telling you, social media can be the worst possible time eater and comparison thief of owning the space you're in. We talked about don't date until you're healed. Set the ground rules for dating before you begin to date. Don't creep on your ex's page. There is nothing good that is going to come out of creeping on your ex's page. Can I just tell you that? Can you please trust me on this? Do not creep. And place your energy wisely. That is our broadcast for today on raising emotionally healthy kids through divorce. This is Marie Kennedy Groves, your life coach. If you would like to connect with me, you can connect with me on Facebook, Marie Kennedy Groves. Instagram is World Changer for Life, or you can email me at mariegroves@healingwaters.info. And I would love to connect with you. Remember, in 2022, as you own your space that you're in right now, this is a time to thrive and not just merely survive. Have a wonderful day.